welcome back. Good morning. Sometimes, things just happen for some reason or the other. Is it Friday? Is it Friday? Is it Friday? Is it Friday? For some reason or the other. Anyway, let me say good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Good morning. Those of you via GBN TV, viewing us via GBN TV, I should say. Good morning to you. What about those of you via social media platforms, whether it's the Facebook page, YouTube channels? Good morning. It's the 23rd day of August, 2024. Was it just a couple of days ago we were saying, hey, it's August 1st, right? Time flies, and suddenly hope that you're getting everything taken care of in the way that time is moving along. And we're going to be having an open line edition this morning here on To The Point, which means you listeners, viewers out there, you have the option of calling. And so much been happening in the last couple of days that I sure there is that particular conversation you would like to stir up this morning. And of course, get your voices be heard. There's an issue that you may want to speak of. Feel free to do it in this segment this morning. You know the usual drill, folks. When you're calling, make sure all of the devices in the background, whether it's your television, the radio, have it turned down as low as possible or completely turn it off. After you're through making your contribution, feel free to turn it back up. You probably have a neighbor who's listening to it also with you, but after you're through really making your point, you certainly could turn it back up and do that. So let's eliminate that, of course, feedback that we should receive. Sometimes a little bit unpleasant, all right? So I don't want to have the option to have to cut you off because of that happening. All right, 435-2041, 435. You also have the WhatsApp. There's been a little bit of issue with the WhatsApp lately for some reason. I want to believe it's connection-wise that is causing the problem, but we still will try to entertain some calls. If it works, we will flow with it and see how it flows. You also have the option of making a contribution via the WhatsApp message sense, of course. Send a message via WhatsApp, and I will certainly throw it out probably just the way you feel you could, of course, throw that message out this morning, that particular bit of information you want to get out this morning. You feel to do it via the message on the WhatsApp, feel free to do so via that particular means. What about the Facebook comment section? Feel free to do it there also. And let's hear from you. 435-2041. Open line this morning here on the To The Point. And your phone calls are certainly welcomed. Those of you who are on the nation's roads, I always urge you to drive with that due care and attention. Yeah, be a defensive driver. Looking for your drivers. Looking for pedestrians on the road. There's always that issue when someone is always have that bit of mishap happening with pedestrians walking along. All right, and so looking for them also, and looking for the other drivers coming along, and so you would have a few, should I say, incident-free commute as you move along on the nation's roads this morning. Let's go to the phone line and say good morning to our first caller, getting the ball rolling. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning, and you're live.
Morning, VJ.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, I want to clear the air. The the person who called this morning, and sometimes people call, they need to do some history research. The oldest civilization is an African civilization. So for someone to call some Grenadian or some people who claim to be Africans, they must know the first civilization was the African civilization, and the French got the carnival from the Africans, and they brought it over to us, their version of carnival, okay? And they got it from the Africans, which was the first civilization going back to Moses' time, which was the first carnival. Have a good weekend.
Have a great day yourself, sir, and certainly hope someone may have a different opinion to yours, and maybe they may want to contradict what you say, but certainly appreciate your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line this morning here on To The Point. Let's hear from you in terms of what the contribution you would like to make this morning. Feel free to do so. We have up until it's at 10 a.m. this morning, and feel free to do so as we move along here on the program this morning. Those of you who are out there, the diaspora, good morning to you. Hope all is well with you. Friends, family, good morning to you. Certainly hope all is well. Don't forget, folks, we got the GBN back to school. A particular promotion coming up. I'll share some more details about that as we go through the program this morning. Once again, 435-2041. Let's get the ball rolling with your calls and whatever contribution you would certainly like to make this morning here on the program. Feel free to do so as we move on along this morning. And Let's say good morning to, of course, a dear friend who's celebrating this morning. Just sent a note and said, hey, don't call my name. Well, good morning to dear friend, and have yourself a great day and a happy birthday to you. I'll probably do it via a private message. All right, don't worry about that. Good morning to you and happy birthday. 435-2041. It's an open line this morning here on the program. Let's take a peek at the WhatsApp and see if someone is making a contribution here via the WhatsApp. And someone is saying, on Camahan Park, why are people using the recycling cans as trash cans? When I asked the guy cleaning the area the question, he said because there are not enough trash cans. And that's sad. Why are there not enough trash cans? That's interesting there, because of course the recycling cans are for particular what you want to recycle. There's one for the plastic, there's one for the rock and post and so forth, and the other like that, and there are other for the of course regular garbage, I would say. So folks maybe sometimes don't follow through on it in terms of putting it in the right place. 435-2041, 435-2041, open line this morning here on To The Point. Let's hear from you, listeners and viewers out there. I know lots of you, of course, probably have your concern in terms of getting the young ones back to school. So you're probably moving around this morning trying to get the necessaries. But, of course, those of you at home and you're tuned into the program, feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. Once again, it's To The Point, the open line edition this morning. And let me get the line a bit disengaged there for you. I think it was my bad on the phone line there for a wee bit. I didn't disengage it. 435-2041. So those of you who are trying to get through and for some reason it was engaged, my apology for that. Caller, good morning. You're welcome and you're live.
Hi, good morning, GT. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful this morning.
All right. I have two little pieces to speak about.
Let's hear you.
This morning. First, to begin, I want to speak about our garbage disposal.
Mm-hmm.
I visit another country and I see how they handle the garbage, and I look at the situation and I like how they're doing it. So I just want to share.
So, Colin, if I may chime in on you a little bit, why does it always take us to have to go somewhere else to see what somebody else is doing for us to do the right thing? Why are we like that?
Because education is a continual thing. So if you don't get it on that side, you get it on the other side. So
I somehow I don't agree with you, but I will let it flow. Go right ahead.
Anyhow, the garbage collecting place, they cast the ground, and you have about 6 or 7 huge garbage bin in the area, and the garbage bin have wheels. When the truck come to collect the garbage, one man and the truck, only the driver. The driver hook the bin, ice it up, and dump the garbage inside the truck that he's driving. No, you don't see nobody holding it. For instance, like we here, like as the hospital, if you have 100 garbage bin, the person that picking up the garbage have to touch the 100 garbage bag. And we have one elevator. Sometimes the elevator has to bring a dead, if the person is dead upstairs. The elevator has to bring somebody do surgery upstairs. The elevator has to do the garbage. What we could do, have a big bin outside, downstairs, so you could stay on top and let go the garbage inside the huge bin downstairs. You don't need to use the elevator. And then the truck come outside, they pick up the garbage and go it, because I go and I see many, I go in labs and I see how they operate. We clean, I help my friend, and then the last thing she do, she sanitize the elevator. That's the last thing you do when you finish work. You don't work in the day. In the night, when everybody leave the lab, you go and you clean in the morning, the place clean. So I see this way, and this is not hard for we to add up. We could add up. That is a simple method. That is why I want to share it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Some people do, we do things differently. Sometimes you go over there and you never see it here. but you see it over there so you could come back and share it with your people here. So perhaps you could have...
Colin, the reason why I made it, I said the same, why don't we have to go somewhere else to see somebody do it for us to knowledge? There are lots of folks who are in authority here, folks who are in charge of the garbage disposal and so forth. I don't think someone needs to travel. I think there's enough educated Grenadians here who could have the ability to think of solutions for the problem. And, I don't think we need to travel to another country. It sometimes takes me off by just hearing.
Highlight it. Sometimes they might do it, who knows? Because yes, we have garbage.
Well, you shouldn't have to travel somewhere to see it in order to have to get an idea of something to have it done. That's just my take on it. You understand?
Okay. Well, right. Everybody has different opinion, Okay,
right.
darling.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate your contribution this morning. I just don't have the tendency to feel that we always have to travel somewhere. Are we not able to think for ourselves and come up with ideas of doing things for ourselves? Sometimes it's kind of throw me off a wee bit when suggestions of that nature comes around. Anyway, let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome on your line.
Yes, good morning, GT. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, well, concerning the garbage business and so on, I said on this very program before, I shared my observation that Grenadians can conform. They can, because when you meet them abroad, outside there, they conform. I shared my experience in England when we cut the bush, and we were told that we had to clip them and put them in bags and bag them up, and the garbage truck will only take 2 extra bags every day. So we had to manage the 8 bags of bush on our property. I'm saying that we conform, but in Grenada here, I don't know, but I have been observing a spirit of rebelliousness. You say line up, that is a problem. You say put the plastic in this color bin, that is a problem. We have a spirit of rebelliousness, and that, to me, is what guides the jab on the road. That great spirit of rebelliousness. Yes, everybody want to prove I could do it. Nobody could do me anything. I could do it. So I would like to suggest that, the country is a little different now, the whole upbringing of children, because, we had Sunday school, and so in our days when we growing up, so the Sunday school also helped. So now I would like to suggest that the teachers go back to the preschool, not even the primary school. You have to catch them at the preschool and start teaching them again how to obey authority and why, and there are consequences for if you go against it, and also how to be tidy. The little song, bits of paper should come back. Children should tidy their classroom at the end of the day. But I learned that some parents quarrel and say, don't let my children sweep no school. Yeah? So we have to really look into it and see what kind of nationals we're producing, the system is producing. You understand? I
certainly do understand.
Right. Okay.
Have a good morning, and thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435. As the caller rightfully, some parents will say, maybe I did that when I was younger and I was not happy about it, so I do not want my son and daughters growing up doing those kind of things. Some parents do have that particular notion about themselves. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Morning, Gigi. How are you today, sir?
Doing pretty good, sir.
Okay. Gigi, my thing, what I'm talking about this morning, I wonder what the tourist board is doing wrong. When you look at game shows and talk shows and all those things, you've seen all countries in the Caribbean, a little island in the Caribbean getting, visitors coming because they promote the country. So I don't know what our tourism is doing wrong, that we can do the same thing.
But I have seen various talk shows in the U.S. where a particular...
Very, very rare.
It's rare, but I wouldn't say it has never happened. It has happened.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. I work a lot of years on cruise liners and all of this, hotels and so. Anyway, the thing is, they could get to the hotels and make a deal with the hotel. Maybe the people... the talk show people pay part, and you give the room for free. We don't lose nothing. And the airport directly, the government, when the plane don't full, the government have to pay for the empty seats. So they could use the empty seats and get those people down. Do something. Let me see the island flashing and the television too, like some of the other islands, like St. Kitts, Antigua, St. Lucia, all those. They flash very regular. But I don't see in us. I want to see more of us.
So you're looking for more promotions over in the diaspora, of course, via the talk shows and so forth. The tourism, of course, industry should pay a lot of attention to that.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too, sir. Appreciate it a whole lot. Call over via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome. And you're live. Call over via WhatsApp. Good morning. I'm not sure if the caller is probably not hearing. We've been having some issues via the WhatsApp for some reason or the other. I am not sure what's taking place. If it's just basically the internet connection problem that is causing the issue, they're not hearing. But our system here is working fine as far as I know. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition this morning here on To The Point. If you do have a contribution to make this morning, or of course an issue that you may like to speak of, feel free to do that this morning here on the program. Let's try another caller via WhatsApp. Caller via WhatsApp, good morning, you're welcome. Caller, good morning. I'm certainly not sure what's happening. May have to look into that. Folks, let's take our first break in this segment, and when we come back, we certainly will entertain more of your calls. Stay with us. It's To The Point. It's 18 minutes after the hour. We will be right back after the short break. Don't touch your dial.
Is never the answer. Let's talk it out. We need a safe space for our children to grow up, so let us respect each other. You see this little light of mine? I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna keep it burning. Remember, the answer is love. A message from the Ministry of National Security. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna keep it burning.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Labukan Creative Center presents the final staging of I Do at the Deluxe Cinema Grenville, Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. Tickets available at Labukan Creative Center, Gotefet, and St. Andrew's Pharmacy at $75. It's the most hilarious comedy ever staged in Grenada. It's I Do by Uriah Speakers, Sunday, August 25th, Deluxe Cinema Grenville at 6 p.m. Don't you miss it.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again To The Point. We have an open line edition for you here on the program this morning. Feel free to call in 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning. An issue you may like to speak of. Of course, you may have an opinion you would like to share. Also, feel free to do so in this segment. Let's try the WhatsApp call once again, see if it works this time. WhatsApp caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Morning.
How are you this morning, sir? I am not sure what's happening with our WhatsApp this morning. Let's try and let's go to the direct line. Caller, you're welcome and you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Maybe I'll inform you that I was hearing the WhatsApp man or woman calling you, and I'm hearing your phone talking also. So anyhow, this is not a complaint, but this is an observation. So something wrong seemed to be wrong somewhere along the lines. Anyhow, what I intend to say, not I want to say, I intend to say it, and I'm saying it now. Now, we in Grenada are a rebellious set of people. We have the tendency to say that even if somebody is telling you, the correct thing, they say, I know, and they are always going and do the wrong thing. For example, I think the best method of collecting the rubbish is on them. I put in this skip. This skip could hold more than a man has to jump behind a truck, jump down a truck, and collect a barrel and pour it in the truck. And maybe when even the owner of the barrel come, they can't see the barrel because somebody else go with them, the container, the small, as people will say, the small little container.
I'm not saying it, but I would make this observation: the small little container that people put their rubbish in, and when the person go fight the next morning, they cannot see. They go to put, so they have to put the rubbish on the ground. The better thing or the best thing is to raise the big collecting bins, and once the truck raise them, you put it in. But you're having these people that jumping up truck up and down, their lives are at risk, because if they make a mistake and they don't hold the truck, then they would actually fall down. I see it happening around me. They're going up.
So, but I'm still trying to get the direction that you're going. You know, you up, down, somewhere. I seem going on the side sometimes. I'm trying to get you the direction that you're going with your contribution.
All right. Well, I'm very sorry. Level of education differ from place to place and from person to person. Anyhow, seeing that you cannot get me level, I'll end there.
All right, sir. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number to be on part of the program this morning. And feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you, sir.
Trusting that all is well with you?
100%, sir.
Hallelujah, man, Mr. Telesford. I would like to speak basically on two matters. About guests that you've had on recently. But the most recent we'll begin with, the Prime Minister's participation in your program on Wednesday morning, pardon. I asked two particular questions. And it's instructive to note the response of that goodly gentleman. He didn't know of the document. The document I referred to was a document that I've always, I retract, I to say we've been always asking about relative to the validity of the Constitution of Grenada. The people of this country were told in an encounter on your program with you when they introduced last year, sometime the latter part of the year, the celebrations committee and whatnot for the independence celebration of the 50th anniversary. I asked the question of Dr. Crawford, what you celebrating? What are you celebrating? And she told me that they were, in effect, working with the British High Commission to get the documentation that gave faith and validity to the Constitution, etc., etc. That is what I was asking him about. If he is the Prime Minister of this here country and he doesn't know of that, well, then something has to be utterly wrong in this here country. So I want to remind him, as leader of the country, as a young person born after 1979, the attempts made by the people of this here country to liberate themselves and to emancipate themselves from the British control, to try to find out and get the document that gives validity to the Constitution of Grenada. In other words, show us the Constitution Act. Show us the Independence Act. Unless you can do that. And I would like to advise him also too, that he should revise the document written in 2002 by a commission set up by the government of Grenada, the state of Grenada, signed by one called Danny Williams, who was the Governor General then, instructing a team of people led by one Nicholas Liverpool to look at the Constitution of Grenada and the recommendations that they made. It is time that we get serious in this country about the Constitution, the validity, the legitimacy, the legal authority that the Constitution of Grenada has, and to prove that we are in fact a politically independent and sovereign nation state, because by God I shall not stop. And they are, over the months, as I end this brief component quickly, over the months I've been getting to learn that there are people in this country who know that what I am saying or what we are saying is true and is correct, and it doesn't seem that anybody else know, save and except us, because the authority had been manipulated. The authorities of this country manipulate, and they have handlers. When you see a political party a grouping of people can buy a political party in $1 million deals, you understand how far our politics in this country is manipulated by foreigners. But I'll leave that there for now, but I'd finally like to end this on saying this one. I'm happy. No, the last one was the one related to, I'm getting old. Mr. Telesford, let me reconsider and I'll be back. But I want your Grenadians to pay attention to this matter related to the constitutionality of this here country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning. 435-2041. Let's try our WhatsApp caller. Hope it's a bit stable this time. WhatsApp caller, good morning. If you can hear me, go right ahead with your contribution, please.
I can hear you loud and clear. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Well today.
All is well. Certainly all is well.
Fantastic. I called earlier in the week to make a point, and the WhatsApp connection was once again not of the best, but I'll try my best then to make my quick point. You had a guest speaker speaking of something that stuck out with me very much, pertaining to saying the statement that Grenadians will come from the diaspora and they don't invest or put much into back to Grenada. I'm pretty sure they do in their own way. However, full investment as to only putting their monies in the bank. And I've been traveling back and forth from Grenada for many years. I live here in New York and I love Grenada to the core. I am Grenadian in through and through. And I've been seeking for years, I would possibly put it at 2 decades now, on how can I come back to help in the diaspora in Grenada itself. I've been on websites looking at jobs. I have been looking and seeking for many, many years on how does one who lives in the diaspora, how do we come back home and contribute, not just financially, but in the job sector, in the political sector, whatever sector there is. We are out here. We do want to come back home and we do want to contribute, but the many times
Our caller seemed to may have lost you there again. Caller with the direct line. Good morning, and you're live.
Yes, good morning. How are you this morning, JT?
Doing pretty well, sir. Let's hear from you.
All right. I've been listening to the program, and I heard all you was talking about garbage and so on. But my thing is, what does we have, how do you address the problem of raw sewage on the Carenage? Yesterday I was walking on the Carenage, and there was some sewage right in the water there among the boats and thing. And I've heard us talk about that many times before, but it seems as though nothing has been happening. What could be done about that?
All right. Well, I saw the necessary authority should be looking into that, because it's not a pleasant sight to see raw sewage. Of course, like that. So I certainly hope the authorities are looking into that, and probably that could be resolved in the soonest. All right. Let's try another caller again this time via the WhatsApp. Caller via the WhatsApp. Good morning, and you're welcome. Seem to may have lost that caller there. Let's go back to the direct line. And we lost that caller there also. Callers, you know the procedure. When you're calling, please make sure that whatever device in the background is turned off completely when you decide to make that call to the station, please. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome, and good morning once again.
Yes, Mr. Telesford, let me use the opportunity briefly to speak on the second point.
Go right ahead, sir.
I also asked the Prime Minister this morning whether or not, or when his government shall comply with the promise made in December of 2022 in the budget debate in the Senate by the then minister responsible for social development, who said these words. They're not mine.
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of steel program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that families will continue to receive the additional $150 per household. Madam President,
I hope that is clear to the Prime Minister. It was his minister who made the statement. She had full authority as a member of the cabinet. Let's underline that word. She didn't get there and open her mouth and word jump out. No, she had authority. And she made a promise. They boast of a government, or an administration, should I say, that fulfill the promises that they make. To tell me now that because I'm claiming my $1,800 for 2023, and that of the other vulnerable people who are benefiting from an increase put on by the previous administration, the government in authority It wasn't Keith Mitchell or Tom, Dick, or Harry on their own whims and fancy from their own money that did it. It was a government activity. A cabinet decision was taken, and therefore they have to fulfill this. And don't come and tell me it wasn't budgeted for, because the money that was paid to the teachers for not an hour work, just to appease them. Are they different? Why are there different strokes for different folks in this country? They have to pay the people their money, and I'm warning them that they shall be punished in the next election if they refuse to pay the vulnerable people whose $1,800 is an entitlement to them, and they have to be paid. This is what I wanted to tell him. So when he wants to tell us what we need to know, no, we want to know what we want to know, and because in a democracy, I want to send this final message to him. The sovereign and constituent power in any democracy, understand the meaning of the word, resides non-transferably in the people. We own this business, and you're out of place to be telling us that's what we need to know and not what we want to know. You're damn well out of place. Put that into your smoke and pipe it. Thank you very much, Mr. Telesford, for what it's worth.
Thank you, sir. Have yourself a great day. 4352041. Let's go to the WhatsApp and hope the WhatsApp is stabilized in this segment. Caller, good morning via WhatsApp. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hey.
For some reason, we may have to forego the WhatsApp calls. A bit of instability in terms of the connection somehow with the WhatsApp. We've been having that problem lately, so we may have to forego. So, folks, if you have the option, you may have to call me directly. 4352041, 4352041. Let's go back to the line. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Good morning, I'll correct you.
Good morning to you, sir.
If you listen to the tape, I started with, it's not my opinion. Check out the history of the Bible. Like a woman said, rebel. We don't want to be on the negative side of the carnival. This whole thing about being a job is a negative side. There's a positive side. There's crop over. There's other positive things. We should not gravitate to the negative side. It's not my opinion. Do the history. You'll find out carnival has started in Africa. The first civilization, look at the Bible, the first civilization, human civilization, started in the cradle of Africa, okay, where Christ walked was in Egypt, Africa. Where Moses started, the first carnival where they had, as a biblical, it was in Africa, okay? Not my opinion. Have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, caller. Have a good way yourself. Caller via WhatsApp. Let's try this one, see if it works. Did a little bit of tweaking there. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome. We still seem to be having that issue with the WhatsApp call. So, good morning to you. Are you able to? Let's go right ahead, please.
Hi, GT, good morning. Happy Friday.
Same to you, man.
Anyway,
Same to you.
GT, I was listening to Brother Rolo. Brother Rolo is a man I
to continue to have that drop in the WhatsApp calls. For some reason, the others seem to having that drop. So as I mentioned before, we may have to forego on the WhatsApp calls today because of the instability of the connection. So apology for that. We due for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we entertain more of your calls. We may not be able to entertain more of the WhatsApp calls. So apology for those of you out there in the diaspora and so forth would like to make a contribution. But for some reason, the connection seems to be unstable and it's not worth going through the whole issue of it. Let's take a break, folks. We'll be right back.
Mark your calendars today for August 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center Annex for the GBN Flow Back to School Extravaganza. We are bringing you a day of fun and excitement with Bouncy Castle, exclusive deals, and free back to school packs for early bird attendees. Vendors, don't miss your chance. Secure your spot today. Plus, catch all the action with live interviews on GBN Television and our social media channels. Powered by Flow, Bermuda's Biscuits, Fruit of Cool Kids, and Megaforce Promotions. For more information, call 449-6886. Don't miss out. See you there.
welcome back, listeners. Once again, welcome back to our viewers. It's To The Point. Those of you via our social media platforms, welcome also. And thanks for being with us this morning. We have approximately just around 23 minutes or so before we wrap today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, JT.
Good morning to you.
I just called to pick up on us because in the Dover Diamond, in the Diamond is in Yopope. I want to congratulate him to him and wish him all the best. JT,
yes.
I was looking at the mail table, and I was looking at for some names in the mail table, but I don't see them. I don't see Ghana.
I sort of missed that. Finally, you were looking at for some names where?
In the Olympic with medal and so on. But I don't see Ghana. I don't see Trinidad. I don't see St. Vincent, and I don't see the other country, Trinidad. What happened? They didn't get medal?
No, they were not able to medal in most of the, of course, the events that they participated in. No.
Wow. A country like Trinidad? Wow.
It happens. It do happen sometimes. It do happen sometimes. But we should be happy that our athletes were able to medal, even though it was a bronze medal. But we were certainly happy that our athletes were able to medal.
Yes. I'm really happy to know that our athletes medal in the Olympics. Even the guy in the diamond day again. Yeah. I'm proud of them.
All right, man.
JT, Mr. Rolo talking about some 150. The Prime Minister make it clear yesterday, Wednesday, that they let the money expired. It expired. So I don't know why you're talking about. The Prime Minister even say people with severe disability, they was awarded $200. So, in other words, the people who cannot maybe mobile or whatnot, them get an extra $200. I don't see why you want a man who could do a kind of thing to get the same amount of money. I want to say to Mr. Rolo, that is the best thing I feel the Prime Minister could do. Give them who are disabled and who can do, give them the $200. Who could have helped themselves and they get still the $200.
Thank you. Have a good day yourself, sir. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's take this contribution from someone via the WhatsApp, and they're saying John Miss is calling to be a teacher, as he loves correcting people. He doesn't realize that an handicapped teacher can motivate, stimulate others in their life endeavors. It's not too late for him to activate his calling. And I'm assuming that caller is of course, speaking in terms of Mr. Rolo there. Someone seemed to be constantly calling via the WhatsApp. I hope it works this time around because I was going to forego calls via the WhatsApp. Hope it works. Ernesto, good morning. How are you doing?
What's up, messing up?
Yes, let's see what's happening if you were able to make a contribution. Go right ahead, please. And here it goes again. 435-2041, 435-2041. And as mentioned before, I will not be accepting more calls via the WhatsApp until, of course, the situation is sorted out. Seem to be connection issues with WhatsApp. Could be one of the providers that are providing us. That's where the problem lies. So our apology for not being able to accept any more calls via the WhatsApp for today. All right. 435-2041. We have 20 minutes and counting before the top 10 this morning here on the program. It's an open line edition for the program this morning. If you, of course, want to make a contribution this morning, you can always call in and, of course, make that contribution. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's go to the Facebook page this morning. I've been avoiding it just a wee bit. So I've just have the option of signing in during the break and see what some of the contributions the folks have been making there via the Facebook page. And let's take this one from Glenda. She's saying, people who worked all their lives become disabled in their senior years, and they are the ones who get housed and making noise for $150. Is it important to teach citizens how to manage and save and at an early age? All right. Let's see what other contributions there via the Facebook comment section this morning. Before I continue, let's take a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Well, not too bad.
My apology for the WhatsApp. I know you usually make your contributions there.
No, I wasn't using the WhatsApp this morning because I realized WhatsApp does give a lot of problems sometimes.
Yep.
So I decided just deal with the landline. Mr. Telesford, at least three little points. I love listening international news, regional news, and I take in my local news. And the international scene, and I hope no Caribbean politician adopt the type of politics that Mr. Donald Trump used in order to get in power. I have never seen a man hoping to be a president could demonize all malicious name, calling a woman lunatic, crazy, comparing himself and saying he better looking than all. Now, America claiming to be the leading wall of human rights, and it goes to show how this man treat and speak about woman in the political arena. I know Caribbean people have a way. They like to pattern themselves anything they see America do. I'm not hearing those women in politics speaking out against that. They should condemn this sort of a behavior of people when they enter politics in destroying people and failing to deal with issues. We have to learn to discuss issues and not attacking personality of people. So I hope we will never take the page. That's what Mr. Trump is doing. Secondly, I've listened to the regional news yesterday, not on your station, I think it's Caribbean media, and the Antiguan Prime Minister talking about the seriousness of gun violence in Antigua. And you know what was his solution? He is going to Parliament to change the laws and the illegal gun issue, meet with the people in the legal fraternity, because what he's saying, people getting light sentencing and serious crime. And he even goes so far by saying he is behind the police 100%. If they have been attacked by these people with illegal weapons, he's actually saying the police must shoot them. No, when the gun issue was raised in Grenada, a lot of people, I was even surprised that politicians doing like if, well, Grenada take the worst solution towards solving the problem. But here Antigua is crying out. St. Kitts is crying out with crime and gun violence. I am saying we must do things seriously and not everything with doing to gain political mileage. Think about the safety of people. And finally, GT, do you know throughout the region where people can go in the hospital, they get in free food and all these sort of things, you know, of any other hospital apart from Grenada?
I can't say if I know if that's true. I have never really took the opportunity to find out.
Right. Well, sometimes it is good for people to do a little research. In Grenada, patients don't pay for food. A lot of service, they get it free in the hospital. And sometimes still hear people cussing and all sort of a thing. No gratitude is being shown. I am saying it's about time they statutize the operation of the hospital. People will take their work more seriously, whether doctors, whether nurses, whosoever it may be. When you're under a statutory body and it has been properly run, you have people work with more seriousness. People are concerned once it's government is haywire. They do everything anyhow, anyway, because they know at the end of the month, no question, they sure and getting their salary when they go to the bank. And hardly disciplinary action is being taken against them when they fail in conducting their duties. We ought to take things serious if we want to have good service. And I am saying statutize the operation of the hospital and every staff personnel, and people will start taking the work more serious. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your contribution, sir. Good morning to you, and best wishes for the rest of the day. 435-2041, 435-2041. And I have a contribution from someone via the WhatsApp, and they're saying, how do we here in the diaspora come back home and contribute? Not just financially, but in the work sector, the political sector, the entertainment, arts, etc. We are out here, and we would love to come back and contribute. How can we do so smoothly without being discriminated by locals, as though we are not Grenadians enough, as we have often confronted? And that's a contribution via someone via the WhatsApp, and it's a thought-provoking statement there. Let's caller. Good morning. You're welcome, and you're live.
Hello. I just want to make a point, please, to the program.
Caller, you're live. Go right ahead, please.
Pardon me?
You are live. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah.
Caller, would you mind turning down the device in the background? Because I think it's causing you some distraction there.
Yeah, well, I don't. All I have here is a fan.
All right. Well, caller, when you have that sorted out, could you please give us that call back? 435-2041, 435-2041, because I'm assuming everyone who's listening is also hearing whatever device you have in the background that is playing is also repeating everything I said or I'm saying. So have that sorted out and call me back. 435-2041, 435-2041, and that's the number to be part of the program this morning. Apology once again for those of you who love making your contribution via the WhatsApp, but there are connection issues with the WhatsApp, and it seems to be dropping from time to time, so we were not able to continue with the WhatsApp calls this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Yes,
good morning.
I called just so when I do we lost contact. I call again.
Go right ahead, please, caller.
Hello?
Caller, would you go right ahead, please? Caller, and I ask that you turn whatever device you have in the background off, please. Caller, we may have to forego on you also, because I think you're being distracted by the radio or the television that is on in the background, and it's throwing you off because you're hearing me after, because this programs always come in a delayed format, so you're probably hearing me after. That's why I said just pay attention to the telephone only and not try to listen to the television or the radio when you're trying to make your contribution, all right? It will cause that bit of a distraction. And let's go back to the phone line once again. Caller, welcome. Good morning. You're live.
Morning, Mr. Telesford. I'm sorry to call back, but I have to clear the air. Nothing in life is free. Taxpayers paying for free food is not free, okay? And this guy, people cannot control the background because they don't know how to turn down their device. Some people just not fast enough on that, and I want to give kudos to Mr. John Rollo. I want him to stay on T because he's on poor and nobody wants to know that he's telling the truth. Have a blessed weekend.
You too, sir. Have a good one. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number to be part of the program. We have approximately 10 minutes left on today's program. And someone is saying that they do give free food in the hospital in England. That's someone via the WhatsApp is saying that. So for the previous caller who called in and was asking the question if we know if there's other countries that they do give free food and so forth at the hospital, someone is saying she's speaking for England, so we're not sure for other islands within the Caribbean. I guess that's maybe what he's probably asking most. If there are other islands within the Caribbean that give free food in their hospital. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning and welcome, and you're live.
Hello, I call back again. I know time is running out.
Caller, go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Pardon me?
Caller, would you go right ahead with your contribution, please?
All right, so they spoke about the hospital. I want to say something good about the hospital. A lot of lies go about the hospital. That's what I want to talk about.
Caller, for some reason, I apology. I know that you want to make a contribution, but you have something playing in the background, whether it's your television or your radio, whatever device it is. You have to turn it off completely when you decide to call. All right? I've been trying to give you that opportunity to do that, but it doesn't seem that you're following my instructions, sir. So my apology for that. I will not be able to continue anymore. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number if you want to be part of To The Point this morning here of course, on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Let's go back. And I'm seeing the same caller is calling again. Caller, I'm saying it for the last time. If you have any device in the background that is playing while you're calling, turn it off completely and listen to me via the telephone only. Let's try the caller again, and if it still occurs, we have to disconnect you. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, it's me again. I'm still waiting to...
Caller, for the final time this morning, would you turn off if you do have anyone within your household you would like to ask them to turn off the radio or the television, please, and talk to me via the phone only.
Lies go out of the household which need to be corrected. Thank you very much.
Have a good morning, sir. Have a good morning. 435. And someone is saying also via the WhatsApp, the hospital meals are free in Canada. I guess everyone is chiming in on that. Let's go back to the phone line once again. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
I just wanted to say to the caller that called and say he is in the diaspora somewhere out of the country and he want to come back home and he would like that nobody won't have anything racial, like he's a foreigner, them kind of thing. I am telling him that Grenadian is not a people like that. We have our people outside there, and we want them to come back. We hope that many like he will do. We waiting with open hands. There is where he born, there where he grow, and we want him back. And everybody, there's an invitation to everybody, just come back home and seek your job. Once we have employment, you'll get it. So don't let it tell people like he's forced to come back home and he's afraid to come back home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you also. 435-2041. 6 minutes and counting before we take a wrap for today's program. Been a bit of an entertaining morning. 435-2041. And that's when you go live, when you call, and certainly have the opportunity to make your contribution. All right. We go back to the phone line once again. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
I'm just calling to say something that the persons that go around cutting jelly, right? The young coconuts for the nation to drink. To please disinfect the cutlasses and the knives, because what happens that whatever disease that one jelly tree has, when they go to our next jelly tree to cut, they spread that disease from that jelly tree to the other. And therefore, it may kill the jelly tree. All right?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you there. And I sure individuals are listening, and of course there's a bit of advice there, but sometimes not everyone may know that the particular tree that they took the jelly or the water as we call it has a particular disease. Some folks may not know that, so they go to another and it spreads. I do understand where you're coming from, but sometimes the individuals who are doing it, they may not be knowledgeable enough to know that what they're doing. 435-2041, 5.5 minutes moving up. Let's run it off. Just 5 minutes moving up before the top 10 this morning here on the program. It's To The Point, open line edition for today, Friday, the 23rd day, the final edition of To The Point for this week. And let's hear from you, callers, this morning. You have the option of calling and sharing your views this morning, your concerns by calling in. Let's see what some of the contributions via the WhatsApp this morning. Someone is saying your message was received. No place is sweeter than home. Anyway, good morning to you also. Someone is saying this also. If you want to come back, then stop charging us millions of US dollars for hotel stay and land and discriminate us about our age. And we ask for, is it sometime, I'm missing the other part of your point you're trying to make. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Yes, GT, I just want to mention concerning what the minister say about the cutlash with the spreading of the disease.
Yes.
Every tree you cut from, after that you sanitize the cutlash. so you avoid spreading the disease to another tree. Because when I used to work in the farm, we have places that have muco disease. We have something deep. We boots after we come out in that plat. We dip the boots in some kind of thing they put it on, so we avoid spreading the disease to another area. Sometimes the person might know which tree that's sick, as you mentioned, but every tree you cut, you should have something to sanitize your cutlass. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 2 minutes moving out before the top of the hour this morning here on To The Point, the Open Line edition. You have 2 minutes if you would like to call in and make a contribution before we wrap up today's edition, folks. 435-2041, 435-2041. Good morning to those of you out there who are at home today, probably getting some chores done. You're probably around the house and you have the radio on or the television on and you're listening while you're taking care of your chores. Good morning to you also. Probably you're not the one that will be calling and make a contribution, but I know there are sometimes you listen and you do learn a lot from things you may hear on the program. Folks, so I would think we're strapped for time now. We all have time. So let's take a wrap for this edition of The Point. I want to thank all who contributed towards today's program, all who contributed for most of the week also. Whether you call in and you made your contribution or you just listened, I want to thank you a whole lot for that. And best wishes goes out to you for the rest of the day and the weekend to come. Those of you out there in the diaspora, best wishes goes out to you also. Have yourself a good one and be safe. And have a good one, folks. That's why we say goodbye for this edition of To The Point. Have yourself a good day, and that's why I say goodbye.